Mumia Abu-Jamal, born Wesley Cook on April 24, 1954, is an American journalist, political activist, and author who has spent decades in prison since his 1981 conviction for the alleged murder of Philadelphia police officer Daniel Faulkner. He became one of the most famous incarcerated writers in the world, not only because of his legal battles, but because of his powerful critiques of systematic racism, policing, and the U.S. criminal justice system from behind bars. Abu-Jamal was politically active from a young age. At age 14, he was arrested protesting a George Wallace rally, a moment he later described as formative in his political awakening. In the late 1960s, he became a founding member of the Philadelphia chapter of the Black Panther Party, where he worked on empowering Black communities with combating racial injustice. After leaving the Panthers, he became a radio reporter and the president of the Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists, focusing on issues affecting Black Philadelphians. On December 9, 1981, Philadelphia police officer Daniel Faulkner stopped a car driven by Abu-Jamal's younger brother, William Cook. A confrontation ensued. Faulkner was shot and killed, and Abu-Jamal was shot and arrested at the scene. Authorities found his unloaded revolver beside him. In 1982, Abu-Jamal was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to death. From the start, the trial drew controversy. Critics pointed to racial bias by the judge, the suppression of certain witness testimony, and the admission of Abu-Jamal's political past to influence the jury's perception. Abu-Jamal maintained his innocence throughout, arguing that he was not the shooter and was mistreated by police after being wounded. After decades of legal battles and international scrutiny, a federal judge overturned his death sentence in 2001, primarily because of procedural problems during sentencing. Prosecutors later dropped efforts to execute him in 2011, and his sentence was changed to life in prison without parole. Supporters argue the original trial was tainted by systematic racism and judicial misconduct, and many advocate for a new trial based on alleged procedural errors and withheld evidence. Opponents, including Faulkner's family and law enforcement groups, argue that the evidence supports the conviction and that the trial was fair. While incarcerated, Abu-Jamal wrote extensively about justice, race, and incarceration. Live from Death Row, published in 1995, his first and most famous book written on death row. We Want Freedom, A Life in the Black Panther Party, published in 2004, a memoir of his early political life. Have Black Lives Ever Mattered, in 2017, an essay and commentary on race and policing that connects his personal story to broader issues. These works have become important texts in prison literature, anti-racist writing, and critiques of mass incarceration. Scholars note that his prison commentaries contributed to prison activism by making these experiences of incarceration visible to wider audiences. Abu-Jamal's case became an international symbol in the movement against the death penalty and for criminal justice reform. Amnesty International and others condemned aspects of his trial. His supporters range from political rights activists to public figures who describe his conviction as a politically motivated prosecution. Multiple documentaries, books, and cultural references cite him as a voice against systematic racism, particularly in policing and the legal system. Abu-Jamal's narrative highlights long-standing concerns about racial bias in policing, a key issue in the civil rights movement and ongoing debates about police reform in America. His case has been used to critique the application of the death penalty, especially in cases involving Black defendants and alleged judicial prejudice. Despite incarceration, his writings have given voice to other incarcerated people and impacted conversations about mass incarceration, systematic racism, and justice reform. Abu-Jamal's story is complex and deeply contested. To supporters, he is a political prisoner and a courageous voice against racial injustice. To critics, he is a convicted killer whose activism and writings have been interwoven with his legal battles. Either way, his life as a journalist, activist, defendant, and author from prison remains a powerful lens for examining race, justice, and power in America. For more information, please visit my website at www.ontheshoulders1.com. There, you can support my OTSOG book series. You can also support me on Patreon at patreon.com/OTSOG. You can also support me by hitting the super like button, joining this channel as a member, and getting yourself some merchandise. I love you all, and make sure you catch the next video coming up.